Hey guys, welcome to the Faith Homestead podcast. Today we are doing a video blog type of podcast. You will be able to find the full video on this experience on YouTube at Faith Homestead. So today we're just walking you through cleaning our chicken coop. We've been getting a lot of questions on our routine. So basically our routine is we clean our chicken coop 4 times a year. That is in the summer, the spring, the fall, and the winter. Not exactly at the beginning of each, season, but just when we feel it is necessary. It ends up working out to be about 4 times a year. Sometimes we will do it a 5th time in the summer if it's really, really needing it. So we line our inside of our coop with large pine flakes. When our chicks were little, we did the fine pine shavings just because I felt like they were a little bit more fluffier and we had little fluffy chicks. So I don't know if that was just a me preference or if that's an actual thing that you should do, but it just seemed like it was a lot more gentle when our chickens were little. Once they became full, adults, they got the big pine flakes. I use 3 types of kind of like pest / moisture / just well-being control in my coop. I use First Saturday Lime on the perimeter of my chicken coop, and on the inside I use Diet Tenacious Earth, and I use Sweet PDZ Coop Refresher. So there is no rhyme or reason to how I put this in my chicken coop. I literally just take handfuls and I chuck it everywhere. As you can see here, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm just chucking it in the nesting boxes one after the next. When it comes to the chicken coop, I also just chuck it everywhere. Something also to note is that we have laminate vinyl flooring that we stapled crudely to our chicken coop floor. They were sticky on the back, but with the ebb and flow of the temperatures, they're not going to stay down. So we used a high-end stapler to staple them, and they've been in there for 2 years now. It makes the chicken coop cleaning, it's just unbelievable. You don't have any urine or feces that are soaking into the walls or the coop floor. We took that and put that on the floor and then did about a foot up, just 1 tile up around the sides. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I just opened a bag of large pine flake, and then I will spread that out throughout, usually 1 bag I do in the summer, based on the size chicken coop I have. In the wintertime, I will do 2 or 3 bags. It adds insulation to the chicken coop. They don't have a large space that they need to hop up onto their nesting bars. It's a lot more cozy in the winter for them. So that is basically the entire clean out of the chicken coop. Now we are moving on to the run, and here, if you are just listening on the podcast, I am shoveling out the top layer of debris from our dirt floor run. We do not put anything in our run unless needed, so we do have a roofed run, so it doesn't get very wet, but in the winter or in the rainy season, if it does get wet from outside sources like sideways blowing wind, flooding, that just makes it a little bit wet, we will use horse stall pellets, which you can get at your local Tractor Supply or supply feed store, and we will put a bag or 2 of those in our run. They are perfectly safe for the chickens to be in, and they, once wet, they expand. And so you will have a great dry run, and you can limit disease and illness with that. So right now I'm just scooping off the top layer. There's ash in there. There's just regular dirt. There's some wood chips that I threw in there because we had extra laying around from our garden and I didn't want them to go to waste. So I threw some wood chips in there, but preferably our run floor is just dirt. I then am getting a rake. I am just raking any debris, bones. Yes, bones. We give our chickens like ham bones. They pick it clean. Any type of stuff like that, they will pick clean. So that debris, obviously they're not going to eat the bones. So, I'll be raking up some bone debris here and there. feathers, stuff like that. So here I am doing that. My chickens really like this environment. Here's the thing: unless you have a chicken tractor system, you're gonna be down to a dirt floor eventually. Probably in like a week or two. That's just the reality of chickens. They will, if they are in one space, they will just peck away and eat everything in that area. So once I am done here, I'm just finishing up the rigged area and shoveling away, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get some supplies to then outfit the run for the next 3 months with everything that they need. Where I live, our chickens are not able to free range, unfortunately. So it's important that you only have the amount of chickens that you can safely house in a enclosed run. So that is something to consider. Where we live, we are not allowed to have our chickens free range. We are hoping to have a bigger homestead one day. That is my dream, and it's actually becoming my husband's dream, which is really, really special to me. But here you can see I am just taking that diatomaceous earth and I am just chucking it wherever I feel like chucking it. If you're just listening to us on the podcast, I have a bag of diatomaceous earth, I have a bag of First Saturday lime, and I have a bag of sweet PDZ coop refresher, and I am straight up just tossing it all over. The chickens, they scatter, but it's okay. If they get hit with a cloud of diatomaceous earth, they will be fine. We have no disease in our chicken coop. We haven't. We are still with the original chickens that we have, and I have found that this routine, while it seems a little bit crazy, it really keeps all the bugs, the mites, any pests away. On the occasion where a bug will come in, they just eat it. So it really keeps the coop clean. Here you can see, if you're listening to us on the podcast, I am getting a bunch of wood ash. We save our wood ash in a giant aluminum metal trash can throughout the year. So when our wood stove needs to be cleaned out, we take that wood ash and put it into this giant trash can that is metal, and we save this for our chickens. This is another method of pest and bug and disease prevention. Chickens like to dust bathe, and when they roll around in wood ash, it cleans them. You would be surprised to see them doing somersaults. They act like little acrobats in the chicken run when they are doing a dust bath. It's actually really cute to watch. So I will put the wood ash in the areas in the chicken run where there's a divot. So you can see here that there's a huge divot in the chicken run where they've just made a kind of a hole. And this is where I will put most of the wood ash. Next, you're gonna see my husband helping me with our water collection. So he did help me with this part because he was outside, and it's a 5-gallon bucket of water, and it was super helpful that he would set it up for me. So if you're not watching, we have a 5-gallon bucket of water. It has the little cups on the sides, and it will last for a few days, and that's how we water our chickens. We have it then bungee corded to the side of our chicken coop for safety so they can't knock it off and hurt themselves. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.